everybody to another episode of Two Brothers, Same Mother. This is Sheik. It's King Arthur over here. And it's weird because the Eagles lost. They lost to a team that's expected to really compete for a Super Bowl. And there really is some good feelings and some really frustrating bad feelings. And I kind of just want to jump right into it. I want to jump into what went right, since figured we'll start off with some good vibes, even though, we lost. And I kind of want to start off with Carson. Is that okay?
Go real quick, guys. I just want to apologize. We got a couple texts through last week. There were some technical difficulties with our last week's episode, so we apologize for not having an episode for you guys last Thursday. So, real quick. But no, yes. I mean, if
you
that's
apologize. Listen, man, I'm working with what I got. I'm kidding. If someone else contributed to the equipment around here, listen, I screwed up. Okay. Speaking of saying that I screwed up, we won't get to what went wrong a little bit about that.
I thought you wanted to go what went right.
Well, we started with what went wrong, or technology.
All right, so we're gonna flip it.
No. We'll flip it right back, man. We're playing twisted. Carson Wentz.
What went right? All right, so that for the third game in a row, okay, showed why he should be the quarterback of this team. Numbers don't always tell the story. We played. Everybody knows that I live and also work in Ravens country, right? So all I hear is y'all should bench Wentz. Why don't y'all get a rookie? Wentz ain't that good. Yo, y'all should bench Wentz. The same guys, for the most part, that were saying that really don't watch the Eagles like that. So they're just going by what they see on TV, right? So and with them saying that, these same people, after watching that game, was like, yo, your quarterback is tough. Yo, he almost willed us to beat us.
And to be fair to those people as well, when you only get the chance to see maybe a half hour of teams.
Yes.
And on top of that, if you look at Carson in week 1 and week 2 compared to Carson, who in the last quarter of the previous game, and you look at what he did in the second half against Baltimore, I mean, it's really almost looks like two totally different quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna say the late of the Pittsburgh game. To me, it started
with Cincinnati.
The fourth quarter of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
But it's eerily similar to what happened last year before the Eagles went on that run when Wentz played. Was up and down, played really poorly, and was actually outplayed by Eli Manning, who, hadn't played all that year, and then came out in the fourth quarter of that Giants game, and then just went on that run, and it kind of almost eerily has that feeling like the Eagles are getting ready to have that one run based off of Carson. With that being said, the other point I want to really, really make, Travis Fulgham, man. This kid's a player, man. Like, I wasn't sure. I had spoke to you, and I was just like, and people are all excited and stuff like that, and I was like, yo, I want to see what he does against this Ravens defense. Like, and Marlon Humphrey is arguably the best corner in the league.
Speaking of, not getting a chance to watch teams, I don't get a chance to watch Ravens games like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only exposure I've had to the Ravens, my last two exposures being in Philly, not watching every game, was watching them getting shellacked by Kansas City in the playoffs last year against Tennessee. I knew Marlon Humphrey was good. But when you see it, it's almost like when someone tells you back in the day Deion Sanders is good, and then you watch a game with Deion, you're like, oh.
Right.
Marlon Humphrey, he's special.
He for real. And I am forced to almost watch the Ravens because, like I said, where I work at, it's so many Ravens fans. But with that being said, so also real quick, defensively, what?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to kind of dive into, because I was actually going to bring up Fulgham with what went wrong, and not him.
Okay.
So I just want to bring up a point.
And I got that too with what went wrong. And even though we did not discuss this, I think we kind of may have the same idea.
Right. But to give you an idea, Fulgham played in his third game.
Mm-hmm.
projection-wise, for the entire season, all 16 games, granted, he's only played 3. He is projected to have 757 yards and 8 TDs. Okay? To put that in perspective, Alshon Jeffrey, who played all 16 games, during the Super Bowl run, had 789 yards and 9 TDs. So this guy is playing like a receiver who could carry a team.
Yeah, he definitely is. So, defensively, what went right to me, bro, 5-5, double nickel, man, listen, he could retire at the end of the season, and his number needs to go into that Raptors, like with Doc and some of them other guys. Bro.
Ring of Honor, absolutely.
That's what I mean. Ring of Honor.
Okay, I'm about to say number retired is just a little special with Philly. Yeah.
But that's what I meant.
I know you feeling good.
He's talking to a guy walking past us wearing a Dallas Cowboys leather jacket.
He's sad.
Do you know how many sacks Brandon Graham has?
I don't care.
No. I'm going somewhere.
I honestly have no idea.
So he has 5 sacks this year.
Okay.
And it's interesting. The reason why I bring this up, me and AJ.
And he had 2 against Lamar yesterday.
So, we were talking about how he was having a Pro Bowl-like season, even though people aren't giving him credit. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's 4th for defensive ends, or 4th in the league, ends, corners, whatever, in sacks. And I think in the rest of the league, he's very undervalued. Mm-hmm. And with that being said...
That's because of the Eagles' record.
Right.
Yeah.
Him having 5 sacks is a footnote compared to what he means to this team.
Yeah, I mean, it goes... Sacks, right? Yeah, that's the pretty number, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the money number.
Yeah, that's the money number, right? And he is so good against the run. Like, he plays the run so well. Number 2, and this does not show up on any stat sheet, Derek Barnett.
Who people are down on because he didn't record a stat.
Yeah, and it's like crazy because it's not. When you play teams like that and you get to the outside, you have to become selfless because you're not going to get the stats. Okay, so when I used to coach football, right? A lot of teams, they used to run to the outside and stuff, and I used to have 2 ends, and I used to tell them, don't worry about tackles. Don't worry about, it's not going to be glorified. If you can stand that tackle up or that tight end up and don't allow them to get to that outside, whether it be the quarterback or the running back, don't allow them to get to your outside, then you did your job. From what I saw, was fantastic by him.
I have to agree. I mean, I thought Derek Barnett was an unsung hero, considering the fact that some of these other people that we wanted to see couldn't really contribute as far as young guns. With Kayvon Wallace getting injured, Sean Bradley getting a bigger chance, but really didn't do much. I will say Alex Singleton played great as well. He had 9 tackles, and he played really well.
Alex Singleton played really, really well, but the tap on that big run Lamar had, that was kind of on him. But,
yes.
But he bit. And here's the thing, man. I've seen, like I said, I watched the Ravens a lot. I've seen all pro linebackers bite on that.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that, even though that was his assignment to maintain it, man, listen, man. Lamar and the Ravens are magicians with that ball. You get what I'm saying? So
I will say one other thing, although it's a little controversial. I did think that they're starting to try to figure out how they're going to implement Jalen Hurts into this offense, and he did provide a nice spark. And I don't think you need to overuse him, but I do think that that's a nice little wrinkle.
It is. It is helpful. I mean, it is, right?
Now, let's be clear. When I say that, I don't mean that Jalen Hurts needs to touch the ball when he's on the field. The Eagles had over 100 yards when Jalen Hurts was on the field, and Jalen Hurts only accounted for 23 of those yards.
Right.
So when I say that, I don't mean Jalen Hurts needs to touch the ball. But when Hurts and Wentz are on the field together, it accounted for 109 yards, which only 24 of them were Jalen Hurts yards. That's what I mean where it's a nice wrinkle to have. It's something to have to make them think of something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Now, I didn't this is not a what went wrong. but this is something that pisses me off or grinds my gears. The CBS broadcasts keep on showing pictures of Jalen Hurts whenever Carson Wentz throws an incomplete pass. That annoyed the hell out of me.
That was funny. Every time Carson Wentz got sacked, every time he threw an incomplete pass, CBS was going right to Jalen Hurts. It's like, come on, yo. Like y'all, the media ain't shit. But anyway, so did you want to go? Are you done with what went right?
Yeah, what went right. We're going to go to what went wrong. I mentioned that I was going to bring up Travis Fulgham with what went wrong, and we might have the same thing, and this is why. And we could go into, honestly, 20 minutes about play calling. But one thing I wanted to put into, Travis Fulgham was not targeted till 2:19 left in the second quarter. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I already gave you the numbers of what he's projected to do. Even with that being said, the man ended up with 6 catches. He ended up with a touchdown. And he could go up and get the ball. So it's not like if he's covered one-on-one, he go and get the 50-50 balls for you. Mm-hmm. Or at least make sure it's not intercepted. With all that being said, and Carson has shown through his actions and through his words, Fulgham becoming his go-to guy. Why did we not have any plays designed for this guy to get him open? In the first drive, honestly, but without even in the first quarter. And I find it interesting that you didn't target this guy to 2:17 left in the second quarter. Guess when we got our first down? With about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. It doesn't. You don't need to be a mathematician to figure it out.
No, we are totally on different ends of the planet with what went wrong with Fulgham. Totally.
Really?
Yes, totally. Carson Wentz was on his fucking back. He was getting beat to shit, and there was so many times that he was like this. How many times did we see him go like this? Guess who he was looking at? He was looking at Fulgham. He was trying to get the ball to Fulgham. The offensive line did not hold up. Now, I will agree with you as far as schematically, at that point in time, maybe you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying this is Wentz's fault. And you are correct. There were a couple plays where literally it was a 3-step drop and somebody was
Yeah, he was getting trouble. Where I had the issue when it came to Fulgham is when we were going with 3 tight ends and with 1 receiver, and that fucking receiver was fucking John Hightower.
Which, by the way,
not Travis Fulgham. Or John Hightower should have been the 3rd option in that.
And you know what? I saw this as a trend, too. You know, John Hightower, this is the first game in 4 games that he did not lead all receivers in snaps. Why is John Hightower leading your team and wide receivers? And we're not talking special teams. We're talking about just offense. Why is he on the field the most over anybody else? Now, yesterday that wasn't the case, but only by 1 snap. Like, I don't understand why that's your go-to.
He should be the 3rd. The one person that should be it, as of right now, after this game, should be Fulgham. But prior to that, it should have been G Ward. Yeah, it definitely should have been G Ward. I was getting aggravated. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, why is the only receiver they got is 82?
Hightower wasn't really a threat. He dropped that ball. He did make a nice comeback as far as getting mentally right, you know, after dropping that pass that.
Right.
90% sure would have been a touchdown. I feel like the only reason why he fell was because he dropped it.
But even if he didn't score a touchdown, we're in
momentum changer.
Right. We're in field goal range, and the Ravens probably back a little bit of coverage off a little bit more. And there was not one Raven that was more than 7 to 10 yards off that football at any point in that game until they kind of got a little behind them a little bit, and then they kind of backed them up. So if Hightower, people say, oh, 1 play doesn't
one play makes a difference.
Yeah, 1 play, because then hypothetically he doesn't score there, right? Boom, he catches with. But now the Ravens like, oh, let's back off a little bit. And Carson probably would have been able to get into a rhythm a little bit earlier.
Right. So yeah, I mean it's and like I said, we could go into a bunch of stuff. This whole going for 2 stuff really frustrates me.
Yeah.
The plays you have.
Analytics bullshit is dumb.
I don't like the idea of doing a read option in general when you only have 2 yards to go, because Carson, although he can scramble and although he's mobile, he's not that quarterback. He's not that dude. He's not Lamar. You know, but he's not Russell Wilson.
I don't even think Lamar or Russell would have won that.
Right. And even then you put him in a bad spot. So You need space, and there's not that much space when you have less than 5 yards. You know.
For the second week in a row, in a crucial point in the game, Andy Reid's tutelage of Dougie P reared his second head about not calling a timeout. Doug Peterson said something that pissed me off in his press conference. Like, pissed me off. One of the questions were, hey, Doug, why is it taking Carson, especially the last 2 weeks, so long to get into a rhythm and the offense to get really cooking?
You don't ever really want to get into your 2-minute offense quite as early as we had to yesterday.
Yo, if it works, start with it. I don't give a shit if it's 60 minutes left in the game. If your 2-minute offense and your hurry up is what gets him going in the first fucking quarter, do it. Like, seriously. Like, come on, man. Stop with the analytics shit. You are a fucking football coach, bro. Period. It's dumb.
What I don't get is he's done it before as far as starting off with a hurry up on the first drive, and it's worked out great. So I don't understand.
Once again, second year in the fucking row to where the season's on the line, right? Before you decide that you go to the style of offense that best fits your quarterback. Really? Really? Why not? Carson obviously is, and I said it before, the best style of offense for Carson Wentz, if you look at it, is kind of like the 06, 05, 06 Steelers type. When Ben, still young Ben, move in the pocket, getting people going, things like that is the style of offense you need to run with Carson. It's been proven when Carson was an MVP candidate, that's the type of offense you ran. When he was a rookie, that's the type of offense. When everybody went Pennsylvania, he's the truth, he's the next coming. Ginger Jesus, all that shit. That's what you were doing. All of a sudden, 2018 comes, and you try to make this motherfucker Drew Brees by climbing. He's not. He's not.
Pete Carroll doesn't try to put Russell Wilson in that kind of box.
No.
And Russell Wilson does great. Obviously, MVP candidate. Probably will win the MVP.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it. I mean, one other thing I just want to touch on, I don't want to go too deep into it. The Wentz to Ertz combination, he was targeted 10 times. Only 5 of the balls were considered catchable. And there's various reasons for that. Could be the ball got away from Wentz. It could be because he was getting killed in the backfield. It could be that
there was
Ertz
a couple tips. There was a couple where Ertz didn't come out, rounded off his route.
Right. But, it's one of those things where the guy has become a below average tight end. He's become a below average weapon. And the type of talent that he has, he's supposed to be the best weapon you have on your team. Even better than Miles Sanders. Now, we know that's not the case. It's at this point, it's Sanders and Vogel. Yeah. But y'all got to get that right. And one other thing, the guard, Jamon Brown, he don't need to see the field again.
Bro, Jamal Brown, listen to me. I know you, hopefully, maybe one day, maybe not one day, maybe you'll see this Thursday. Okay? After Thursday, comment on there. I'll get you a job application where I work at, because that's where the hell you need to be. You don't need to be nowhere near a football field.
Oh, you're talking about Jamon Brown.
Jamal Brown.
I thought you said. No, I thought you were talking about people who were watching the show.
No, Jamal Brown.
Yeah.
Yo, hit me up, bro. I got you a job. I can get you a job. Trust me.
Don't be mad. UPS is hiring.
Word.
So I'm gonna get into something. We gonna take it a little lighter. Our little segment, is it real or is it fantasy? Mm-hmm. And you already mad. I'm gonna make you a little madder with some fantasy stats.
No, man. I'm only 4'6" hot.
You read? I don't know what 4'6" hot means.
4'6". I'm not 100% hot.
So your buddy Ryan hot? 46.
4'6" hot.
4'6". So 2/3.
2/3 hot.
I'm 8/12 hot.
8/12 hot.
Let's get to some other men. Now you pissed me off. So just this season, if we were talking about the top half of the quarterbacks, the top 15 quarterbacks, of course you're going to mention Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. You would not, at least I want to think, put Gardner Minshew up there as
top 15.
Yes.
I would put him in the top 5 of coolest quarterbacks.
Well, in as far as QBR, which your quarterback rated, he's 22nd. Now he is ahead of some other people. We're talking about the whole season. He's ahead of Foles, Wentz, Burrow.
And he's not better than any of them.
No, but he is the 13th ranked QB in fantasy. Okay.
Okay.
Normally you're in a 12-team league. You need 2 QBs, so he's a great pickup for fantasy. My thought to you is, I'm going to ask you to do something dangerous. Think like you play fantasy football. Mm-hmm. Would Gardner Minshew finish the year as a top 10 fantasy quarterback?
No. And because he has that Indy and Tennessee defense in this division.
Now, he's played both of them once, so he only has one more game with each of them left.
Yeah, but that's still 2 games that could really, you know what I mean? And I don't know if Jacksonville plays like Baltimore.
No, they play the bottom. So they play Cincinnati. They're going to play the Jets, which they are. I think they already. No, they haven't played the Jets yet. Because I think they finished last in their division. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just because you got those 2, and it's not. I'm not going to say Houston because Houston's defense is trash this year, but.
Okay, it's interesting. I thought you would go the opposite route just because they're always so behind, so he's going to have to keep on throwing the ball.
Yeah, no, I just shows on fucking.
No, man. I mean that's
football.
But
I didn't think about it like that, but I still say no.
Interesting. Now, talk about top running backs. Okay, top 10 running backs.
Okay.
As far as fantasy and regular NFL, just for the time he was given, top 10 running back right now in the league is Mike Davis, replacement for Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
He's been tearing it up. Now, Christian McCaffrey is due to come back in the next couple weeks at the earliest.
Yeah.
Do you think that even with McCaffrey coming back, that Mike Davis will end up not 50-50, but let's say 60-40 splitting the workload with Christian McCaffrey?
60-40? Hell no. 80-20, bro.
Even with him coming off of such a serious injury?
Man, listen. If you're ready to come back, you come back.
The guy's third in rushing right now.
Don't matter. He ain't Christian McCaffrey, bro.
Would you feel the same way about Alshon Jeffrey and Travis Fulgham? Don't matter. Alshon Jeffrey's a proven Pro Bowler. And
fuck Alshon.
Okay, I'm gonna make you smile. So, and for average points,
T-Fogle, baby.
So average points.
T-Fogle. 13. T-Fogle 13.
For shizzle.
So he's not having a good a season as the other 13, Nelson Aguilar, but
he's actually having a way better season than Nelson Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar has more touchdowns.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
How many touchdowns does he have?
4.
Travis has 3?
Yes.
And he's played in 2.5 games.
It's the whole season he's better.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, listen.
Whole season.
Listen.
He's better.
Nelly.
Whole season.
Listen.
443.
Nelly has 8. Like, people was like, yo, he's doing so great. And then I looked up the stats. And I knew he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. And he had a few yards. But, yo, my man was like 8 for 8 for targets. And I'm like, motherfucker's acting like...
He's 8 for 8. He don't drop the ball.
Coaching.
That ain't coaching. That's these hands.
That's coaching, bro.
Travis Fulgham can't get open. I mean, it's only Marlon Humphrey. He stinks.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he only had 6 catches. How many yards did Travis have?
Huh? Not as much as Aguilar.
No, but I mean.
No, he had over 60 yards. I don't know exactly. He was very productive.
Yeah, and my thing is with real quick.
I was leading him to a point, and he just totally went by it.
Not going anywhere for a while.
Nice hat, by the way.
Yeah, yours is okay.
But no, Travis Fulgham, man. Like, I remember telling some Ravens fans because like he became last week. Speaking of fantasy, I know we're doing this fantasy thing. He was the most picked up player in fantasy last week, not just where I'm at, just anywhere. And hey, there we go. So, but
He doesn't follow fantasy though.
no, I don't.
He just knows that.
I know. I got text. One of the reasons I got text was like, "Yo, I'm glad we beat y'all, but Travis Fulgham helped me win my game." So, but with I fucking forgot what the fuck.
So I'm gonna read you where I'm going.
Oh, before that happened, I need to see Travis Fulgham. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So, to do more. And honestly, he had, like I said, and I literally said if he has 6 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown, then what are you doing drinking out of that bottle? They not paying us to show they bottle on film.
Shit, I'm paying them to keep my sanity with you.
But, and that's what he did. And so, all right.
You said that if he had 6 catches and 60 yards, what?
If he had 6 catches and 60 yards and a touchdown against this Ravens defense.
You did say that. You did. You
and
did
I
say
said, and then that means he is actually a legit receiver.
So, do you think that he will continue to be, according to fantasy right now, he's the top 10 receiver in the league. Do you think that he will continue to emerge, based off of stats, we're not talking full body of work, to where you look at him like he's a rising star and might be a top 10 receiver by the end of the year? Now we know top 10.
Top 10 receiver, just like league standard wise, or top 10 fantasy wise?
We'll go with both. I will say this, fantasy wise, as far as average, okay? So average.
Thank you.
Number 1 is DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that's no brainer.
Number 3 is Calvin Ridley.
He's a good receiver. That kid's good.
Number 2 is Travis Fulgham.
As
far as average points, because he's only played 3 games.
Okay. So here, to answer your question, I'm not trying to sound like a homer. It almost goes to by what I said about like with Gardner Minshew, but the opposite, right? We got the Giants 2 more times.
He's not that cool.
You better be cool.
No, we as far as like because you asked if Gardner Minshew was going to do whatever, and I said no because of the defenses in their division. This is the opposite. We got the Cowboys twice. We got the Giants 2 more times, and then we got the Skins again.
The
Washington football team again. So that shit, there's 5 games where I think Fulgham's going to ball out. So that right there, you know what I mean? Shit, he may even finish top 5. To be honest with you, fantasy points wise, yeah.
I'll take Travis Fulgham, top 5 fantasy football.
But my season's in.
Yeah, and he said he's going to be better than Julio Jones because, as you know, he thinks Julio Jones is trash.
Julio Jones is not trash. A healthy Julio Jones helped them not collapse.
yeah, Julio did his thing.
Right.
So let's get to our favorite part, the picks. We're going to actually go backwards since the Eagles-Giants game is a Thursday night game. We're just going to go backwards. So I'm going to start with the Monday night game. The Chicago Bears at the St. Louis Chicago Los Angeles Rams.
You almost said St. Louis Rams?
No, I was just going through all the places they've been at. But now here's the
thing. Say St. Louis Cardinals. I was like, was you?
But here's the interesting thing. I didn't realize this till last night. The Rams have 4 wins, all against the NFC East, and they don't have any wins against anybody else. Granted, they only played 6 games,
right.
But and they got dominated by the Niners. So the Bears, although have not looked impressive, they're on a 2-game winning streak and did beat Tampa Bay and Carolina. So where are you going with this?
I want to get one thing straight here, right? You dum-dums that keep posting on social media, Eagles didn't kept Nick Foles because he's 5-1. Nick Foles is not 5-1, you fucking idiots.
Nick Foles was on the team, right? He's 5-1.
Yeah, BDN, yeah. There was another quarterback that had something to say. But anyway, with that being said, Nick Foles is actually only 2-0 as a starter for Chicago.
2-1.
No, he didn't start that one game. He got brought in off the bench because Witchcott was playing so bad, drove him back, and then threw the game-clinching interception.
I could have swore he started against the Colts and lost. I could have swore that.
Who?
Nick Foles.
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Then what game was he brought in? Because
there was the game before that against Detroit.
They were 3-0 with Trubisky.
No, they were.
Yeah, they were 3-0 with Trubisky.
They were 2-0 with Trubisky. That third game, he came in and let.
And Nick Foles
against Atlanta. Then Nick Foles let him get a comeback against Atlanta. Remember, go to the L.
But they lost.
No, they won against Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They did. Yeah.
What was that?
You was right.
We got afraid that. This is the new segment called Sheik Was Right.
She was right.
But so he's 2-1. You're going to get to your point. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so fuck it, wrong.
That's the best way to move on. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
I'm going to say Rams.
What's your score?
I think Aaron Donald's going to have a really good game. And he's going to cause disruption. 24-21.
I have 24-20 Rams, so really close. Yeah, I think Cooper Kupp is going to have a big game, but that's just my thoughts. Sunday. Tom Brady and the Bucs go into Vegas against the Raiders.
The Raiders. I'm going on a limb and say the Raiders. I'm going to say the Raiders, and I'm going to say 27-23.
I have just about the same thing, except I have Raiders 27-21. So we're close.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs have a interesting divisional game against the Broncos. Drew Lock came back. He has 2 wins. The Broncos have 2 wins.
Chiefs win, and I think it's going to be like 31-17.
I have Chiefs 31-16. I wrote down my stuff if you never saw it, so just to be clear. Niners at Patriots.
The Niners look like they're getting healthy. They got healthier, you know what I'm saying, with their running game. Jimmy G's leg looked a lot better than it did the previous week, like his ankle and stuff. I'm going to say Niners. 24-20, Niners.
I think the Patriots are going to win. I think Cam's going to get it right. I think and the team's going to look a little better. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 20-17.
I mean, it can go either way, but that's
right, yeah. Jags at Chargers.
All right, so a couple weeks ago, I said that Joe Burrow was the Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, this kid with the Chargers, bro. Yo, that kid slings the rock, man. Oh.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
I remember everybody making fun of him because he looked like he was on the draft day. He looked like he should be starring in like a Disney show.
Yeah.
But he's showing why he was drafted.
Yeah, when you downloaded points. What? Who are the Chargers playing again?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what Justin Herbert Disney porn you be watching. They're playing the Jaguars, by the way. Your favorite quarterback, Gardner Minshew. Speaking of a guy that looks like he downloads a lot of porn.
Yeah.
Gardner looked like he downloaded
or was in a lot of them. Chargers, big too. I'm gonna say 27-10.
I have them 23-10. So for the most part,
we don't think Gardner's gonna score more than 10. We agree.
Now, to me,
not gonna have the energy after all the points.
This is competing for game of the week. Seahawks at Cardinals.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. Only reason just based off experience, they've played longer together, like with Tyler Lockett and stuff. But I'm gonna say 34-31 OT.
Wow. Now, see, I look at this game as we hear about how Kyler Murray's the future.
Yeah. Listen, the kicking ball.
Right. But I think this is where Seattle and Russ pulls a not so fast, my friends. Moment. Says, hey, buddy, let me show you you're just not ready just yet. I think the Seahawks win 28-20. A game that will not be competing for game of the week. Lions at Falcons. I will say this. Listen, I don't know what the spread is. I don't know all that. As long as that spread is under, like, 52, 53 points. Right. Okay, because they both going to end up just going bananas, in my opinion.
I'm going to go with Atlanta winning their second game of the season, 30-27.
I'm going Atlanta 31-28. Little tidbit, I think that Todd Gurley will have over 100 all-purpose yards this game. Okay. So I think Julio's still going to do his thing and Ridley and all that, but I think there's going to be so much focus on those receivers that Todd Gurley going to have his opportunity to kind of put his stamp on that. We got the Browns at the Bengals. Now, interesting thing here, I don't know if Baker Mayfield plays. I hope he does because I would love to see that battle of number ones, but
since we had to, in my opinion, I think we just kind of got to go with he's playing. I'm gonna say Cleveland. I'm gonna say Cleveland. 28-14.
I don't think it matters if Baker plays or not. I think that Cincy They got Geno Atkins, which they didn't have against Cleveland. There's no Nick Chubb, which they did have when they played the first time. I think Joe Burrow is a little bit more established. I think they win in a close one, 27-24.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Oh, I may call it. That's considered an upset to me.
I'm looking. That might be my upset special. Yeah, it is my upset special of the week. I had to double check.
Wow.
And I will say what's not going to be my upset special of the week. Packers at Texans.
Upset special of the week in this guy. 31-28. Houston.
I think A.A. Ron get it right.
It's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch!
You done messed up, A.A. Ron!
Packers win 34-27.
He's probably right on that, but I'm just going out on a limb. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't have an upset special until when you said upset special. Then I was like, shit, now I got to come up with an upset special.
Well,
It is just upset specials everywhere.
He actually said upset special. That's here nor there. He was looking at the fly. Here's another good game. Under the radar, I think that won't be advertised the game of the week, but will probably be the best game in my opinion. Panthers at Saints.
Ooh. I'm going to Saints. Because is Michael Thomas back?
He should be back. Now, he had some issues because he didn't play this past week because he punched somebody. Yeah. So he should be back.
Yeah. I just don't think the Panthers have enough offensive firepower to keep up with them. I want to say 28-21. 28-20. Let me 28-20 Saints.
I had the Saints 30-20, but here's an interesting thing. There was an article in New Orleans about the Saints kept the wrong quarterback. That Teddy Bridgewater should have stayed here and they should have got rid of Drew Brees.
Wow!
It's bananas about, and they're also talking about maybe we should bench Drew Brees for this one. Jameis Winston should play. So I think Brees is going. You talk about Russell Wilson trying to show Kyler Murray some stuff. Oh, Drew Brees is going to be on a mission for the rest of the season. Cowboys at the Washington football team.
Cowboys, man, and especially with the whole quarterback, everything, the bullshit going on in Washington. And they're kind of starting to get injured. Yeah, I mean, Cowboys, and I'm going to say 28-10.
I have the Cowboys 24-9.
The fuck you come up with 9? I get 3 syllables.
Yeah, right. Bills at Jets.
Bills. 35-10, move on.
This is that lock of the week. I got 31-6.
Yeah, it's lock of the week.
I'm not even going to let the Jets score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Although I will say this once again, I will keep on saying it. Yo, free Jamison Crowder. Free him. Trade him somewhere. He deserves better.
Yo, Sam Darnold wishing he had Mono playing well on his team.
Well, Sam Darnold's not even playing. It's Flacco's world now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I was just saying in general, like.
Now, I said that the Saints and Panthers will be sneakily the game of the week, right?
Did you lie?
No.
Did you lie?
No, I didn't lie.
You ain't lie to our people?
No.
All right,
Here's the game that will be advertised as game of the week. I lied to y'all. This is the game of the week. Steelers and Titans.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Old school. Like old school shit. Like old school AFC motherfucking, what's it, AFC North.
Yes.
AFC North old school. Cats forget that the Titans used to be in the AFC North. See, we from Philly, so we say North. Yo, Tennessee is giving body blows like it ain't shit. Like, they just body blow you, body blow. I'm going Tennessee, man. In a close one, 21-17.
I think the Steelers are going to get beat up because they just going to... Derrick Henry is going to keep on dropping that shoulder. But... Claypool, once again, going to show his value. Big Ben is going to show that, hey, they're a little explosive. And with no time left, there's going to be a field goal that wins the game for the Steelers. The Steelers will be 6-0, 24-23. Thursday night, we got the New York Football Giants against our Philadelphia Eagles.
This team is starting to take on the identity of its quarterback, of not giving up and just keep fighting and fighting and fighting. The Giants are not about that life. Bottom line is Eagles are going to win 24-10. There's 10 games left in the season. The Eagles are going to go 7-3.
It's funny.
They
So
finished 8-7-1
I
and
was-
win the division. And then, hold on. Oh, no, you know what? I ain't going to give y'all that
No.
after that. I ain't going to give y'all what I feel is going to happen in the playoffs. I ain't going to give y'all that.
I didn't think you will put that on record.
7-3, y'all.
It's just going to be a game where the Giants might have the lead going into halftime. And that's when the Eagles will turn it on. When I say it's going to be a really close game, for the first 2 quarters.
I think, and I agree with you. Sorry, not to cut you off real quick, but I know you want to get your point. I think that's going to happen. What I think is going to be the turning point is I think our defensive line in particular is going to force Daniel Jones to force the ball in other places. And
I think
one last thing. I apologize to you, bro. Big play Slay will get his first pick of the year. Go ahead. Sorry.
now that's a nice tidbit. This is going to be an angry Eagles win. When I say that, I think the Eagles win 24-14.
Okay.
But we're going to be waking up Monday morning going, they should have won 38-14.
Friday.
Or Friday morning. Monday we'll still be talking about it.
yes.
Friday
Yeah,
morning
absolutely.
we'll be sitting there saying, we won 24-14, but we should have won 38-14. Now I think it's going to be, once again, we're going to be talking about the same stuff. Lack of play calling, creativity. The fact that there's going to be some missed throws out there. When I say that, I don't mean necessarily Carson. It might be drops. It might be people rounding out routes. I want to see this team start having Carson move around a little bit by design. I want to see this team. Well, one thing I can
Go
say,
in the hurry up, start the game.
right. And one thing I can say, beyond the offensive line and the backup running backs are so-so when it comes to this.
Because we might be without might be without Miles Sanders.
But our wide receivers, and although you don't want to see him do it, he's willing to do it. Carson block very, very well. Which means you need to find some space, man. This team needs some space. You built the team on speed, and you're not developing any space. And that's what I want to see.
To end that game against halfway through the fourth quarter, do you know how many offensive starters were projected to be the starters? 2.
Wentz and Kelsey.
Wentz and Kelsey. And they put up almost 30 points against the #1 defense and perennial Super Bowl contender. With that being said, peace. Don't forget to subscribe and like.
See y'all next week.